Namaskar viewers, I'm Anil Khan Chaudhary or AKC, back with series 2 of Imitable Success Stories. First of all, thanks a lot for your good response to series 1 of Imitable Success Stories. I have been receiving your feedback and suggestions both in offline and online mode, so thanks for that. In fact, I was working on series 2 of stories, and based on this feedback, I've put that on hold and created a new set of stories which are aligned with the feedback which you had given. There are two key messages which had come. One was what can be done proactively to avoid those challenges, right? What are the learning we can take out? So that's something which I'm covering in the series 2. And there was another suggestion to talk about this common approach. While I mentioned the common approach applied, but how to apply them to get to the root cause or find a solution, that was another suggestion. So this series 2, I'm focusing on key messages or key learning from series 1 stories, and then I'm also covering tools, a common approach, right, which I mentioned, and the tools which is part of that. So that is what you will see out here. So I hope you will benefit from it, and you will continue sharing your feedback and suggestions as we move along. Okay, so let's move on to see what is there in series 2. So in the series, as I said, we will cover learning and also the common tool. So let's see what are the learnings we can take from series 1. In series 1 stories, there were 6 of them, and some of the key messages which we can take out from that, which if taken carefully, we can avoid having those challenges in the first place. So first and foremost is the governance and reporting. We have said enough about it, everybody knows it, but having a strong and honest reporting and governance is fundamental. Many times we make mistake there, and that's where we come back and have to redo it. So that's one of the topmost learning, I would say. Second is look at as a team. I have shared few examples where we had members who were brilliant, but then as a team they were not providing their best output. So let's focus on the collective excellence. And when we say collective excellence over individual brilliance, what it means is that we are talking about a team, how as a team we can do better. So we should have a great team, we should have a collaboration in members complementing each other, that should be there. The third learning, very, very important, is having a continuous improvement. You don't need to have big improvement all the time. Incremental improvement is what makes things better. So keep focusing on incremental continuous improvement. Fourth, very important, is showcasing your innovation and value adds, because clients stick to any service provider who's going beyond the stated need, and that will happen when you are able to show value adds, you are able to innovate. And again, it need not be something too big all the time, right? You can have small innovations, something like Kaizen, small improvement, small ideas which can make life easier for end user or anyone else. So that's another learning you should be focusing on. Fifth is having a connect with the end user, not just client manager. Many times we tend to talk to the manager and stop it there, but you should find a forum, you should try and talk to the end user, because they can give you a real feedback in terms of how they are seeing the system, what they're liking it, what they're finding difficult. So it's always good to connect with them, and that builds a rapport. If they're happy, everyone else is happy. Second, another important thing is to look at the value which you're delivering, right? How you can move up the value chain, right? Very easily we can get stuck with the kind of work which we are doing, but for continuous improvement and stickiness with a particular client, we have to keep moving up. If you're on a time and material, try to convert few things in the fixed price. If you're on a fixed price, try to move into outcome based, risk reward, continuously. Sometimes you have to even suggest transformation, because you have to move from just being told to telling them what is best for them, right? um, Another important is trusting self and learning from mistakes, right? Self mistake and others mistake, at a individual level, that's very, very important. One more important item is to look at the injection of regular positive instances. This is true both for the project and for individual. When you're talking to your bosses, when you're talking to your colleagues, talking to the client, you should share those good things, right? Because they would be getting input about something which is not working, but you can provide what are the things which is working. Even if it is small, the regular injection is really good. And finally, as an individual, you should look at and participate and interact in the group, in different forums. When you participate, you have to prepare yourself. You just can't participate like that, right? So if I look at a recap of the learnings from series 1 stories, I would say these are the 9 most important ones, both from project and also from a individual perspective. Okay, now let's look at the second part, which is related to the common approach. As I said, in this success story, I will talk about how to apply this common approach. In the series 1, I said for all the challenges, I had applied this common approach, but it was not elaborated. So in this series, you will see how these 6 common approaches were applied and what is the best way to do that. I will also talk about some of the tools in that. So I've clubbed them in 3 groups. So you will have 3 videos in this series. Discovering underlying problem and removing the noise. Those will be combined together in a video. And then I've combined relating to similar instances, as well as the last point in this, which is anticipating issues. So these two would be combined together in the second video. And the last video will cover the points related to jointly working together on the solution and coming up with an implementation plan for those agreed. So you'll have 3 videos as part of it, and each of these 3 videos will cover 2 items from the common approach every time. It will also talk about some tools which were applied in a simplistic way. So, that should help. And finally, moving on, I'd like to talk about the key indicator of the challenges, because when I'm talking about those common approach, it's always good to look at common approach in terms of a scenario. So I picked up the story which you had seen as part of series 1 related to strained relation with the client. So when I talk about those common approach, how it was applied in this particular challenge. Now, to understand this challenge little better, what I have done is I have provided the indicators. The CSAT, it is growth related challenge, it is related to margin, attrition. So these were some 6 or 7 key indicators which caused this particular relationship to be a bit strained. So this will be the example, and when we talk about it further about the common approach, you will see how those approach helped addressing these indicators to getting into the depth of it and then coming up with some action plan based on that. So this is what you will see as part of series 2 stories. Next 3 weeks, you will have 3 more stories coming to cover all this point. Okay, so thanks again for listening and watching, and looking forward to you enjoying and benefiting from these videos which will be coming your way very soon. Okay, bye-bye.